what is our potential as a county. We normally say a target of 1.6 billion. Is that our potential? Honorable Speaker, I will be moving a motion here in the next 2 weeks to request this House to approve formation of an ad hoc committee to investigate and come up with the clear potential of the county. Because the last 5 years, the committee, the assembly, did not find out what is the potential. The last 5 years, the executive did not tell us what is the potential. And if we keep quiet, we will spend another 5 years without knowing. Honorable Speaker, allow me to continue, because the information that I'm getting, I'm not learning short of information. I'm not learning short of information. So I don't agree. It's a requirement that whoever is supposed to be informed has to agree or disagree. I've disagreed with that information.
Allow her to bring up information. Honorable member.
Speaker, Mheshimiwa Dawa, I think you are a member of this committee, and you are already aware that the member of the CEC Finance has already requested us to assist him by allocating him some funds so that he can do some mapping. Mapping meaning he's going to spend time to find out which other tax basis or revenue collection basis he can add so that he can increase the on sales revenue.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for that information. But to me, the information does not add value to what I was saying. In fact, that is putting us into an awkward situation. The mapping may require even more resources than what we intend to spend. I remember some times back, a mapping was done, and you were promised every house will have shower. A lot of resources were spent, and we don't want to find ourselves in the same situation. Number two, Honorable Speaker, the issue of oversight is vested on the county assembly, not the county executive. So we want to find out, so as to oversight, we are aware what is our potential. So, Honorable Speaker, let us talk that when the motion lands before the House. So, Honorable Speaker, on the other issue that I was saying, from the report, we have seen that we did not use the money's total amount that we received that time. And, Honorable Speaker, I also believe the cause or the reason why the monies were not spent. We had a balance of 360-something million from the report. We had received about 6 something, we spent half, another money was returned. Honorable Speaker, what happened that time is likely to happen again this time. And the delay or the problem is not within ourselves. It is not within the executive. It is the national government which is delaying disbursement of funds. And I want to tell you this for free. You can take it to any bank. Right now, the executive are telling us that the last time they got disbursement was month of October. We have spent December, January, February. We are now in month of March. And we are not sure whether we are getting those disbursements. Honorable Speaker, 2 weeks to the end of the financial year, that is just from 15th of June this year, that is the money, that is the time the national government will push all the monies to the county. And you know there is the issue, the bureaucracy of procuring. We will not be able to spend that money. So it is the ample time now I'm requesting that we make an application to the national government to ensure that there is timely disbursement of funds. And members of public there, they don't know what happens. If money, if it goes to the public, that we did not spend the money went back, the rank and file or the appointing authority will have to start fighting with us. You did not use the money was returned. They don't understand, even if the money is returned, it will come back again. They don't have that knowledge. So, Honorable Speaker, we need to petition the Senate to push so that counties can be getting money in good time. Honorable Chair of this committee has said that we have challenges of the issue of payments, how payments are made. Honorable Speaker, I want to confirm here, and I want to agree with the chair. You will get a message or transaction of 3,500. But if you go to inquire about that transaction, you will find that it's only that 5 shillings that were paid to the county. So they added 2 zeros. It will appear. The message that is shown to our officers, 3,500. But if you go to whoever has that need, you'll find it's 35 shillings. So how many has been stolen? It is 3,500 minus 35. So that particular officer is getting more money than the county itself. So as we talk of the issue of automation, the automation also has problems. If we don't seal these lacunas.
Point of information.
Proceed, DS, on your point of information.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My point, sometimes it is good we all be informed on some informations. I'm not taking brief for the executive, but out of whatever Mheshimiwa is saying, the minority leader, which is very true, the county is losing a lot of money through such dubious messages, editing of messages. But when I followed, I'm just informing from what I heard from the CEC is that CCM is that in the last 2-3 weeks there was that shifting from the 200 and something pay bill numbers to one pay bill number, and the gadgets that were being used by the clerks around the county could only send messages to those pay bill numbers, to those specific pay bill numbers that were there. So after they were collected, they no longer receive such messages because we are using one pay bill numbers. And what I was told is that they already have a system, and the same gadgets have been given, dished out, which now will be showing the clerks the right messages, and each sub-count has got a system whereby immediately after sending, and the members of public after sending messages will reflect to the sub-counties, respective sub-counties and county quarters immediately. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Oh, okay, my question is, if then that was the position, why is it that it was not, when this committee was making these recommendations, and I believe the information was obtained from the CEC, why is it that it was not included here then, if there are changes that have taken place since then? Do you get my concern, Honorable DS?
Madam Speaker, I do not sit in the Finance Committee.
I know.
And so I don't know exactly when they were getting the information.
There is this report we are handling today.
It doesn't
just have such information.
It was just a point of information that I thought we needed to know as an house,
okay,
on some of the things that have been happening. And I said I'm not taking brief for the executive, but it is an information that I felt I could maybe give to members.
Thank you, Honorable DS.
Thank you for that information. But I would request my colleague, who is happen to be my member through the chair, if we are giving information on issues of finances, when the assembly is on, kindly give information that you can produce a copy of what you are talking about. The issue of telling us that ABCD has been done and we are not substantiating, if we allow that, Honorable Speaker, this house will not be able to discharge its mandate.
Okay, I think.
And again,
Honorable, I want to come to the rescue of Honorable DS this way, that he gave a disclaimer that he's not holding brief for any, because even me, I tried to clarify that information, and he said he is not holding brief. So maybe we shouldn't pursue that. We just address the issue at hand.
Thank you for that direction. But again, Honorable Speaker, you should make it clear. When we are discussing issues here, the assembly is not under attack. It is not under attack. So if somebody comes or shoots to give information defending that other side, these are two departments. The county government of Machakos has two organs: the county executive, the county assembly, and each department or each organ knows exactly what's supposed to be
Point
done.
of information, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I think I was very clear when I was speaking, and I said that yes, I know the count has lost, and it is losing even now a lot of money due to whatever Moshmo is saying. That is what I said. And also it is also prudent not only for the DS but also even for the members. Sometimes, you see, when the county is losing money, it is automatically losing. As time goes on, at the end of the day, what will happen? We will end up still not even achieving the intended amount of monies that we expect at the end of the year, and that will be a loss for the entire county. So as a person, and whatever I'm saying, it is okay. I can even substantiate, and it was even mentioned by the CEC here in this house. It's not that I'm misleading, but I took that a personal initiative to see how such loopholes may be sealed, even as the House proceeds to do other things, so that we, at the end of the year, Madam Speaker, we may not lose a lot of money. Because I can tell that the county is losing massive monies to those people, which I also know and I understand. And so it's an information that I just went and sought so that the same may be addressed before we lose more monies in the county. Thank you, Madam.
Thank you, DS. Thank you, DS.
Thank you. I don't want to labor a lot, but Madam Chair, Madam Speaker, but I will request that the other side, if they want to pass information, let the information come through the secretarial chairpersons, because I believe that if the information came from the chair, finance, it will be properly placed. But if it comes from a member who is not a member of the committee, and we address the issue of finance, then, secondly, Honorable Speaker, there is this issue of transferring that money on a weekly basis between Monday and Saturday. What happens with that money between Monday and Saturday? If you give money for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, then you are sending on Saturday, there is likelihood of not sending the whole amount of money. So I would request, instead of sending on a weekly basis, let's send the money immediately we get it. Immediately. Okay. Honorable Speaker, if you send someone to go and harvest honey in your beehive and bring it to you, and you tell that particular person, bring the honey after 1 week, are you sure? Are you sure you will get the total honey that was harvested? So, Honorable Speaker, let us reduce the dates of me sending the money from 1 week to at least the moment the money is received, let it be taken to the bank. Then, Honorable Speaker, there is this issue, the last observation. The expenditure on development was very low. At that time, it was 9% for development. 9%. 9%. And when you talk of 9%, we are talking 9% from 100%. So what is the other percentage? 91. Surely, are we serious with our job, Honorable Speaker? The appointing authority, who are the electorate, will not judge us on how much we paid the employees. Will judge us on the development they see in their ward. So the issue of spending 9% on development, 91% going to other expenditures, that one should not be allowed, Honorable Speaker. I want to stop there and say the report is good, and request my brother, Honorable DS, we are just debating, Honorable. We are not in war. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Deputy Minority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would like to contribute on 2 or 3 items. And the first item, the issue of internal leakages. I think, Madam Speaker, it's something that is designed to happen, that is being done deliberately, and if it is not tamed, we will never realize the targets that have been set. And I will give a very clear example. Last week on Monday, when we went for the site visit at Lukenya quarries, personally, I managed to do some collection of the cess. So the question we went home asking ourselves as a committee, if a stranger, someone whom they don't know, is able to collect cash, then how much are we losing? Because
Point of order, Madam Speaker.
Okay. Point of
Thank
order.
you, Madam Speaker. I wish the member could use a different word, because if he says that he collected, then it might land him in problems. So he could use a different or a better word that he used the required officers to get that information. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Point taken.
Thank you for that. I think you need to protect us for that. I don't know what his interest is, because when I say I collected, we were there with the committee, and we took that as an evidence to show that can walk there.
Point of information. Proceed. Honorable Kavyu may be seated.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for catching my eye. Mheshimiwa Kavyu is a member of the Finance Committee. I just want to say that we went and did our site visit. We have not yet brought the report to this House, so I prefer that we don't preempt what we have collected until the report is ready to be debated in the House. I'm just pleading my prayers.
Okay.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I think whether we are going to bring another report or not, some of the issues that we still noted have been highlighted in this report. So whether we have a single pay bill number or multiple of them, or a new system is put in place, I think there is so much that needs to be done to ensure that we realize the targets that have been set, because at the end of the day, no matter how we automate, unless we ensure that there are proper mechanism and also proper training of our staff to understand what it means to ensure that the county doesn't lose that extra shilling, whether we automate or not, we'll still have the same discussion 2 years, 3 years down the line. So as we look at forward to automating the collection process, there is also a gap in terms of ethic and integrity on side of our staff. So as we automate, that is an area that we'll need to look at. And secondly, on the issue of wage bill, Madam Speaker, I think unless we are not serious on trying to curb the same, the issues of wage bill in our county, it's not only attributable to the health workers, because we are talking of us being at 51%, but even as we talk today, we are still employing. And the question that we need to ask ourselves, that extra workforce that we are bringing on board as part of the workforce for the Machakos County, are we getting value for that extra shillings we are paying? Because we cannot be talking at 51%, then at the same time, day after day, we are seeing adverts for new positions. So where are we going to get that extra shilling to pay for this additional workforce that we are employing on daily basis? And the recommendation that we'll make, I think it will have been wise before even we proceed with further employment within the county, who should get a report from the task force that was formed last year to understand what is the current status and what areas do we have gaps before we can continue employing. Because otherwise this will just become reports, because we cannot talk of 51% above the threshold of that 5% that has been set. Then on daily basis we are seeing adverts being put on papers, employing more people. Where are we getting the extra shillings? That is what the CEC needs to come and explain to us. What value are we getting by employing these people? If they are staff that we inherited from the national government, we need to put them into proper use, not adding more people in the respective department. If we have members deployed from the national government, for instance in the water department, we need to put them in proper use, not to add other people, other workers on top of them. Then we don't expect wake up one day, then our wage bill is going to come down. So we need to take proper measures and ensure that every single person that we are employing as a county, in return, we are getting value for that shilling that we are paying. That is the only way we are going to arrest this. And on the issue of pending bills, if we have delays in terms of giving the jobs, because delayed disbursements of funds is not the only reason why we are having increased pending bills. Because, for instance, we approved a supplementary budget, and as we talk, it is 2 months towards the end of the financial years. How many departments have been able to give jobs successfully? How many contractors do we have on ground doing the works? So we also need to work on our side to ensure that we are doing things on timely basis, and also through the Senate, we need to petition and also put the national government to task that whenever there is delayed in disbursement of funds, if they do it on the last day, then they should give the county government some amnesty to ensure that if funds that were meant for November comes in May, then the delayed period should be allowed, instead of just putting a measure that if what you don't spend goes back to the national government. If it is delayed for 2 months and the money is dispersed towards the end of the financial year, then there should be a provision that the counties are supposed to be allowed either to access the funds in the coming financial year as a supplementary from the national government, other than just putting a blind law, yet they are not timely in terms of disbursement. Otherwise, we will kill devolution. Yet, the people at the county, because our people need services, and those services are not given for free. So if there is delay, then it means someone somewhere in Machakos County is not going to get the services that are required. So we need to look at it at a broader perspective to ensure that none of the parties is disadvantaged. And also, in terms of revenue collection, I think as a committee, we have also noted that the emphasis on revenue collection is more on the lower grade of the people. You will find a mama mboga, whenever they don't pay the 50 shillings, the enforcers are so harsh on them. But the people who are supposed to drive our revenues to another level, the bigger business people, some of them you find that they are being exempted. So are the mama mboga going to drive the revenue collection of Machakos County to the expected level if the who is who of Machakos are being given unconditional exemption from revenue collection? So as a committee, as an assembly, we need to investigate and find how many people have been given any exemption from revenue collection and get detailed reason on why such particular businesses. Because if we let off the hook the bigger businesses, the people who are making millions within Machakos County at the expense of the county, then we are going to have that we'll never realize our targets. And lastly, I think also, Madam Speaker, even us as honorable members, as we play our oversight role, we also need to ensure that we don't interfere with the processes of revenue collection. Because, Madam Speaker, in this house, in future, we are going to table a report. You will find that there are some of the honorable members who do business with the county, and or through their friends, they don't allow them to pay revenues. So we need to ensure that we also don't interfere as the legislation arm of the government. If it is Francis Kavi's doing business, I am also obligated to pay revenue. So at no point should you call any of the revenue officers to intimidate them so that you can get favors. So we also need to lead the line. As we also try to curb, let's also ensure we lead by example. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Kavio. Honorable D.
Thank you, the Deputy Speaker, for catching my eye. It is the Speaker.
Is Mr. Speaker now?
Oh, Mr. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. You know, I want to commend the Finance Committee and under the leadership of my good brother from Ndalani, the Honorable Kitaka, for this good report touching on our county. I want to subject myself to around 3 areas. I want to give a case study which happened when we went for a site visit at the farthest end of this county in Divini, where my brother, engineer, comes from. The collection point at the market we went, Mheshimiwa, the area MCA had a person to count lorries which we had to pay at the point. And I can tell you in the evening, the lorries were 117. But when we went to the officer, a lady who is she looked very voluminous. She accounted for only 15 lorries out of 117. I raised it when we went to a function in where? In Kalakala. And I can tell you for free, when I highlighted it in a baraza, the lady came very early in the morning to Honorable DS home and informed the DS, please protect me. You know. And it has never happened. It was not followed. It rested there. So I can tell you, we are losing a lot of revenue in this county. Of course, the DS shared it with me, but I don't know what happened after that. when you go to the quarries, and I know the finance committee has gone to the quarries have the potential to collect between 1.5 and 2 billion in a year. But if you see the last, the financial year 2021-2022, which ended in 30th June, they were collecting 400,000 a day, which totaled to around how much? On page 13, it totaled to around 146 million. That is the epicenter of corruption. And I can tell you, the current government, which we brought, you remember when Noah's Ark, when the rain had stopped, Noah sent a crow to go and see whether the rain already had stopped. But the crow met worms, it ate it, it never went back. I think that may be happening. People in our current government, instead of sealing the loopholes, which the last regime are taking advantage of, they have immersed themselves in the same process. And I can tell you for free, we are going on dangerous grounds. Because if that happens, and we are here as an assembly, which is the watchdog, and I remember Madam Governor telling us, please, Waheshimiwa, be my eyes on the ground. So it is also sometimes good when we highlight these things, let nobody think that we are fighting the governor, but we are doing what he requested us to do. And I request the DA sometimes, calm down. Don't, when we are requesting
kindly,
accountability.
Honorable D, kindly, I don't know to what extent you want me to calm down. What's the meaning of that? Kindly elaborate what you want to mean.
Yes, when the minority was speaking, you interrupted very much, and you promised, you said you don't brief for the executive, but you ended up looking so. I regret. But let me move on.
Honorable D, just as you stand, honorable members, it is good, and let me encourage this. It is enshrined in our standing orders that point of orders, point of informations are good, and those are the ones that complete the circuit of an assembly. Let us embrace this, and also let's not take that some of these things as personal. You see, it's like I will feel that it's like I was attacking on the honorable member. No, it is just a way even of making the assembly lively. That's why we have the point of informations. That is why we have the point of orders in our own standing orders. So it shouldn't be taken personal or what. Anyone has the right for information, has a right for standing orders. I mean, for order giving orders, and to inform the House in anything. And that is why I'm not even asking you anything about me, because you are debating. That is your information you are giving. It might be right, it might be wrong, but you have the opportunity to contribute the way you want. I should not take you that because you are mentioning me that you are not a good person or you are against me. You can proceed because it is your mandate to do so. So don't take it personal.
Thank you. I thought you are the one taking it personal. Because I think what I was doing what you were doing. But you know, we are good friends. I know you understand. I want to talk about PAC committee, whose chair is here. I think that is the committee which now will also bring a report, because it is the watchdog of this assembly. I think they have compiled a report on what could have happened during the same period and bring it to the House so that we can also follow. Because stealing public funds should not be swept under the carpet. We want to get to the deepest end of this, because money was lost. Money was pocketed. How do you have 60 accounts operating and pay bills numbers which don't subscribe? The officers involved, even those who are eating money, should be held accountable through this honorable House. So I request PAC committee, led by my able friend, And I don't know why you are in finance committee. I think you should remain in the park so that you can oversight. But, I don't know the standing orders, but I thought, because I've served in government agencies where park, the audit committee does not serve in the finance committee. I think, but I don't know the standing orders. Lastly, about the task force. I will give an example of Kisii, where the Honorable Governor, the His Excellency Simbarati, also formed task forces to help him understand what has been going. In 2 months, they had filed the report, and he's acting on the same. 6 months down the line, we don't have a report here of the task force. Have they done like the cross and by no? Are they waiting for the count to sink so that they can bring the report?
Honorable Member, I think on that one you can seek a statement from this Honorable House. Probably we get the response.
Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Chair talked of the task force. So I am still on the Finance Committee because they are waiting for the task force to file its report to this House. So it is good we pursue the task force to file their return so that they can come to this House, we verify, then we act. Because justice delayed is justice denied. We don't want to call the cartels, which my brother from the river knows them. We don't need the cartels now in our county. We need work. We need to come down and work. So, Honorable Speaker, I support this report from the Finance Committee. And also in their recommendations, let them add a last one for investigation for officers, those who have misappropriated monies from our nation. Thank you. I beg to rest.
Thank you. Honorable Philip.
Thank you, Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. I want to take this opportunity to thank our able chair for the job well done. As we are speaking, and the way our members have contributed, we know very well that this issue of revenue collection is the backbone of this county. And according to the recommendations that have been made here, the most important thing, Mr. Speaker, sir, is the implementation. When I say about the implementation is that we recommend what is supposed to be done. The issue of corruption of the revenue collectors. And still the same year, every time we are just saying that they are being corrupt. And you find nothing is being done. And you find even some of the revenue collectors, when they are removed from other departments where they are earning, they just go stay for a few days, they are back to the same places that they have been collecting a lot of money. So this is something that must be done and also reported. If we recommend that people are collecting, they are being corrupt, what is being done to these employees? It is very important. Something has to be done and report has to be brought here. The other issue is about the task force that you are talking of. I understand, Mr. Speaker, that there is also timeline for this task force. If they are given timeline, if the timeline is over, something has to be done and a report has to be done, brought here, so that we know if they are given a certain time and the time is over, then what will be their report to us? Yeah. It will be too late to bring that report to us. The other issue also from our committee, like the starting of charging of the street parking, also we should also give them the time that from this time we need to see that they are start collecting revenue to this municipality. This is the income that we need, and we need it very quickly. I want to thank my committee for the job well done and also for the members and this house for recommending this. And the other issue is that the revenue that is also being collected from our area, the way we have been talking, the issue of that people are paying and also they are not getting the messages. Also, the revenue collectors should also be monitoring over, having also the messages that they are being shown from the clients, so that we also come and check which were true and which were not true. And also, Speaker, I can see you are also defending yourself. If you get those information, it's also good to share with our chair in advance. It's very important. So that, yeah, it's very important. We have a chair, we also have a committee, and also you are welcomed in that committee. For the information that you received, you should also share with us in our committee, so that when we come here, we know what you have shared with the other side. So we are not fighting you. We are getting your information, we accept them, but in the wrong time. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's time to rest.
Thank you. Honorable members, we only have 3 minutes. I don't know, we adjourn to the evening session. We just we adjourn and proceed in the evening, in the afternoon session. Okay. Okay, Chair. Then, if that's the feeling of members, then you can respond.
I don't think we have. Sorry, Honorable Speaker. I don't think we have ventilated enough. A lot of members want to contribute. I think we adjourn and come back in the afternoon. I think it's a very important report. Yes.
I hear you, Majority Leader. So, honorable members, this House adjourns on Wednesday, 29th March at 2023. Adjourns to Wednesday 2:30 p.m.